are an embodied reflection of Source. You are thus infinitely empowered, abundant, and a co-creator with your context always. You are an alchemist. Divination works because the web of life is intelligently organized with coordinated and storied agency. Let's take a look at the stories playing out now. Hi everyone, welcome to October 2016. There's a lot going on, much growth and evolution. Many people are awakening now. Let's take a look at nature's unfolding cycle. And to do that, we look at the new moon point, which is a natural new seeding point. September 30th, 2016, we're going to have our second new moon of the calendar month, and that's considered what's called a black moon. You can see from this particular image that we're looking at, there's a full moon in the background, but this image was too appropriate and adorable for what I wanted to use it for, to not use it. But we're talking about the new moon, which is when the sun and moon are conjunct, and it's going to be happening at the exact point the narrative starts on the 30th of September at 5:11 p.m. Pacific time. The Sabian Symbol, the story, the narrative that is underpinning the energy set of this 8-degree, 15-minute Libra new moon is 3 old masters hanging on the wall of a special room in an art gallery. The keynote from Dane Rudyard is the need to return to source during a confused search for new value in a chaotic society. Now we can feel into a couple of things. One is just paying attention to what the symbol is showing you in your mind's eye. 3 old masters paintings hanging on the wall of a special room in an art gallery. This has to do with mastery. This has to do with tradition. This has to do with creative endeavors. And it is the number 3. 3 is creation, it is communication, and it's also community. And of course, Libra is all about justice, equanimity. It's about harmony and peace in relationships. And indeed, there's much activated on the global stage with regards to the duality of the human nature is really coming to the fore. And so indeed the keynote of the need to return to source during a confused search for a new value in a chaotic society could not be more appropriate for the now. Sagittarius. So let's take a look at what is coming up for you for this month of October 2016. I pull up the I Ching to kind of tap into the underpinning narrative for the Sagittarius cycle. So for Sagittarians, over the course of October, what's the underpinning narrative? What's the unfolding narrative for you? And you received 2 I Ching hexagrams. The first one was number 3, difficulty at the beginning. And it came with changing lines, and it became number 42, increase. This is very distinctly talking about the difficulty at the beginning of any new project or any new venture. There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be delays. There's going to be pauses. You're walking on new legs in a new environment or with a new venture. So it's all new. And in the learning process, there's always difficulty at the beginning. Number 42 is talking about money, success. So it could be that if you've started, for example, a new business, or if you've started something else anew, there could be problems with, or a perception of difficulty with success or difficulty with income, money. It might not be money generating yet, but that's just part of the process. So let's go ahead and move to your spread and see what's coming up there. The first thing that I want to point out is down at the bottom of the spread, you can see the defense card. There's defend and defensive is coming up at the base. And if we look right up before that, there's the center 3 cards, which are comfort, joy, portal. And then up at the top, we have signs and signals. Over at the left side, we have beauty. And then in the spiritual sector, less, structure. So structure and foundation is right underneath less. Knowledge and meditate, contemplate. So in the spiritual sector, on that right side, we see less. There is a cycle where there is some challenge, and it does have to do with maybe either clients aren't responding, money's not coming in like you thought it would, things are not as easy to get something started. And again, it has to do with some foundation or structure that you're trying to get perhaps off the ground. So something that you are building is maybe not in a boom cycle. It's not booming, all right? And right now you are experiencing it as limited or constrained or quote unquote less. So you're contemplating over the course of this cycle what you know about the project. You're contemplating your wisdom, your knowledge. You might be learning some things, maybe learning some new, website code or marketing techniques or whatever it is about your business that you're trying to get off the ground. But you are contemplating learning new knowledge around either what your work or creative project or business is or what it needs to be, or something to that effect, something about growing it and building it online. That's kind of what I'm getting. But you're feeling good about it. In the emotional sector, you see the beauty card there. Beauty is feeling good. So emotionally, you're feeling good about this project, even though there might be some difficulty at the beginning, even though there might be less of a response or less of a boon cycle at this time. But at the foundation, you do have the defensive card. So you could be having some... Actually, you know what I want to say for you, Sag, is that a lot of you are actually not going to be feeling defensive as much as defending the project. That's what I'm getting. So up in the top sector, you see the signs and signals card. That's in your thoughts. So your thoughts are oriented around... You feel that this is the right path. There are signs kind of indicating your own intuitions, your own insights, indicating this is right. And you're defending that. So you're in a state of actually defending it, even though there might be some starkness or a lack of, let's say, feedback or money or whatever it is. So in the center of the reading is kind of the main focus, which is comfort, joy at this time. So you're focused on your happiness and you're focused on what makes you feel good during this time. The portal card is talking about internet, and it's also talking about this chapter of time. And I almost want to say for a lot of you out there, this is going to be talking about internet. So portal, comfort, joy. So working online, for example, for a lot of you, because it does feel like a lot of people are starting their own businesses, and which wouldn't be surprising. And if that's the case, I feel like even though you're starting something new, there's difficulty at the beginning with regards to money, with regards to success. Here you're in the spiritual cycle of sparseness, less. You are feeling good, beautiful. You are defending the project, and your mind is focused on the signs and signals indicating that you go forward. And then in the center of the spread, you're comfortable and joyful with this work online. That's really what I want to say. This is not going to apply to all of you, certainly, but the general theme could definitely apply to many of you. So it might not be online work, but for some of you, it's going to be that. Now, if we pop up the Dakini for you for this month, the guidance of who you are to embody, it's very interesting because you are receiving number 25, Mistress X. And Mistress X is the dominatrix of this particular pantheon of goddesses. And what this is talking about is a domination element is actually called forward to put something back into balance. So, and it could be that if you have over-dominated or if you have been too aggressive in your pursuits, that you're needing to be dominated now. So it's almost like you're needing to see how you're playing games or how you're not. Are you being too domineering or do you need to be dominated? That's kind of what's coming up here. So for you to become dominatrix could be that there's some scene in the mirror, some self-accountability that's called forward. How are you behaving? Do you need to be more confident? Do you need to become more the dominatrix with this new venture? And it's not about rolling over people. It's not about steamrolling over people. It's just about you developing kind of this fiery, erotic kind of dominating strength within yourself that's in alignment with your soul journey. This is not about dominating for a one-pointed intention. This is about for the good of your soul's journey. Is this aligned? And if it is there more confidence that needs to come into play? So it's going to be an interesting month. Again, this is not going to apply to all of you. If the internet message doesn't resonate for you, then it could be that that portal card is talking about this particular chapter of time, that you are feeling comfortable, you are feeling joyful. You're defending something, some project, some idea, some vision that you have, because it does feel like you're intuitively guided to it. And you're feeling the beauty around it. You're feeling into that, even though there might be sparser resources. So it's going to be a good month for a lot of you out there. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you again next month. Bye, Sag.